Hey guys, it's me, Seren, back to another video. So, this video was highly requested after a series of tweets and threads that I did on Twitter about Katy Perry. Those threads will, of course, be in the description box, and I'll probably read you guys some tweets before this video ends. But, reader request, Katy Perry is a racist. Highly requested video. One of the main reasons why this video was so highly requested was because last month, Katy Perry changed her Twitter bio. She put artist, activist, conscious. Now, she has since changed it. Her bio now says, I know nothing. And I am 10% positive that my Twitter threads might have inspired that. Hopefully, because a lot of people were adding her with my fucking Twitter threads. And my Twitter threads were getting quite a bit of traction. So, she previously had... But I took screenshots, obviously. So she previously had artist, activist, conscious in her bio. So this was the original Twitter thread that started the whole thing off last month. 4/16/17. Does Katy Perry seriously have artist, activist, and conscious in her bio? And then I put this picture, followed by this picture. Followed by, oh yeah, that one right there. Followed by artist, activist, conscious. So, and then people were just like talking underneath the tweet. I'm sick of her bubblegum activism. Stop appropriating, Katy Perry. I can't respect you until you apologize for it. Have some integrity. And we just started getting into some really good conversations underneath these threads about cultural appropriation, about racism, about bubblegum activism, about all these things. And a lot of you guys said you wanted a video on Katy Perry being a motherfucking racist, which I also mentioned in my last car video. So why is Katy Perry a racist? She's a cultural appropriator. She's a prime example of the concept of eating the other, right? Where you literally consume other cultures that are different from yours for fun and entertainment and to boost yourself and your own personal gain at the expense of theirs, at the expense of this culture, at the expense of the other. You're eating it, you're consuming it, you're getting your sustenance from it, you're boosting yourself at the expense of them. She's a parasite. Like, that's a parasite, right? That's how a parasite works. White people are parasites. We talk about this all the time. I said that at my reading that I had at my show in LA, which for those of you that came out, thank you guys so much. You guys, I did my reading. I did a writing workshop. It was awesome. I said before my reading that white people were parasites. Some people in the room were like, oh. I was like, yeah, we about to get real. But Katy Perry is a parasite. She's racist. She's a cultural appropriator. Basically, what Katy Perry did was she got tired of being a plain pop girl. Because in the beginning, Katy Perry was just like, you know, cute little pop chick that made really nice, super fun pop hits, California Girls, Teenage Dream, all that stuff. But then she was like, you know what? I'm tired of being a plain pop girl. So what did she do? She decided to do this fucking thing that all these white people do when they get tired of being plain vanilla white people. And that is use aspects of other cultures to create this kind of new, avant-garde, edgy, with Miley Cyrus, we called it ratchet, you know, like this new persona. And with Katy Perry, what she decided to do was, look at how quirky and edgy and experimental I am. I dressed up in full yellow face. It's art with a capital A because I am an artist. You know, that is Katy Perry's shtick. I'm gonna dress up in full, basically blackface, and I'm going to call it art. And then I'm going to say, what do you mean it's racist? I don't understand what you're talking about. I read an article about her that called it Experimental Theater 101. That she's basically doing like the high schoolers version of I'm going to push the boundaries. Because like the immaturity of a high school student means like I'm going to do some immature shit. Like, you know, I'm going to like piss on the stage, or I'm going to dress up in blackface, or, you know, like it's experimental theater 101. I'm not going to like really sit down and work on my art and push the boundaries of my art and really like think through some theories and some concepts and what do I want to convey with my art, what kind of message. No, it's just like, oh, I just want to be noticed and I just want to be thought of as quirky and different. So I'm just going to like collect all these different kind of cultural artifacts. I'm going to go on this cultural tourism and I'm going to create my experimental theater 101 from it. And I called it experimental racist theater on Twitter. And a lot of people really enjoyed that. It's just like, How can I be experimental with art when I'm not really a fucking artist? Like, that is the thought process of somebody like Katy Perry. What is the bare minimum, most boring art shit that I can do to make me stand out? I know. I'm gonna put green cornrows in my hair and big fucking grills, and I'm gonna eat watermelon. I'm gonna do an entire Egyptian themed set with mummies that have huge over-exaggerated asses and huge tits out to here and big fucking red lips and gold hoop earrings and long fingernails. And then I'm gonna throw my hands up in the air and I'm gonna give this wide-eyed, innocent white girl routine. Like, I don't understand why people have a problem with what I'm doing and how they just don't understand the art. They just don't understand the art. Like low-key, her and Taylor Swift are the exact same bitch, and that is why they fucking hate each other. They are the exact same bitch. Both boring girls that make boring pop music and swerve into cultural appropriation when they bore even themselves to tears with what they're doing, right? Katy Perry, oh, I'm boring and I don't want to stay in my lane. That's literally what she said when asked about her offensive fucking videos and tours. She did an interview with Rolling Stone and they literally asked her, like, well, bitch, you're known for being a racist. Like, you're known for putting on racist, sets in your shows. You're known for putting on racist music videos. You're known for being awful. You're known for being a cultural appropriator. How do you deal with that? And literally all she said was, well, why do I have to stay in my lane? Oh, so I just have to stay in my lane? Like, bitch, you're white. You're white. You have the widest of the wide lanes. You can push the shit out of your art within that white people lane. Like, no one is holding you back. Like, the most you will get held back is because you're a woman. And even then, you're still white. Like, you're still able to go certain places and to do certain things that people of color, and especially Black people, would not be able to do. There's literally no reason for you to essentially be doing videos in blackface and yellowface for fucking attention. Like, bitch, you are a racist. Andy Warhol is a prime example of a pop artist that made fun, quirky, commercially accessible, commercially viable projects and pieces that also explored really intense, experimental themes without being cheap and tawdry. It can be done. She chooses not to do it. Black artists, we have to find a way to create outside of the boxes that we're placed in every day, right? And most of us manage to not be racist. But since you're boring, Katy Perry, and you're lazy, Katy Perry, and you're a racist, Katy Perry, instead of actually working on your craft, you resort to the easy way out, which is resting on this racist ass fucking shit. It's lazy. It's lazy as fuck. And the annoying thing to me personally about Katy Perry is that before Katy Perry got super boring, she was doing a lot of really cute, fun stuff in the beginning. Like, Katy Perry, in my opinion, could easily work on her craft if she really wanted to become a serious artist. She could, because she actually has, like, a bare minimum of talent. Unlike many of these fucking white girls, like, she probably has the same songwriting ability as the Taylor Swift, and she definitely has a better voice than Taylor Swift, because Taylor Swift cannot sing for fucking shit, and I've talked about that before. Like, Katy wrote very cute pop records. She could play the guitar. She can give you a nice power ballad. Like, Thinking of You is a beautiful song that then she, like, went really weird with the video and went into some weird Oriental, East Asian, World War II, Japanese weird shit. Like, but the song itself was cute. Hot and Cold was, like, a great pop song. Teenage Dream was, like, a great fun pop song. California Girl was a great pop song. Like, you can do fun pop shit. And then if you really want to start getting, more experimental, you want to start getting into these intense experimental themes, you can do that. Like, you can do that. Like, you can definitely do that if you really wanted to. Like, but the bitch is lazy. Like, she decided she didn't want to make the fun pop shit anymore, but she didn't want to put in the work to become a serious artist, right? Just like Miley decided she didn't want to be Hannah Montana anymore, but she didn't want to put in the work to become known as a serious artist. Just like fucking Justin decided he didn't want to be the cute little baby, baby, baby. Oh, he didn't want to be the fucking cute little fucking Canadian kid anymore, but he didn't want to put in the work to become a serious artist. What do they all do? Instead of working on their craft, they take the racist shortcut, which is to rest on racism, rest on whiteness, rest on cultural appropriation, rest on utilization of stereotypes. And this is what these fucking white people have been doing since day one, which is why they're so mad now, talking about some make America great again, and I feel like an outsider in my own country and I don't belong here anymore, and you know, they talking all this shit about affirmative action when the number one fucking recipient of affirmative action is a white woman. The number one recipient of welfare, government assistance, food stamps, EBT is a white person. They are known for resting on their whiteness. That is the whole point of racism, white supremacy, right? Being mediocre, but you're white. That's why the saying is we have to work twice as hard to get just half of what they got, because they can rest on whiteness. They can rest on racism. They can rest on the fact of white, so I gotta be right. I got white privilege. I could do whatever I want. I could take from these cultures. I could put blackness on and off like a fucking coat. I can do all these things. I can rest on this because I'm white. And that's racism. And that is the system of racism, white supremacy. And Katy Perry is committed as fuck to this racist ass shit, and she does it across all cultures. Like on some literal, I'm gonna just take whatever I want. I'm going to take literally whatever I want, and I'm gonna say, oh, this is what's making my art fun and experimental and quirky, you know? Oh, now we getting our nails did all Japanesey. Like, bitch, if you're gonna be racist, at least get it right, because the motherfucking stereotype is that Koreans do nails, ho. Like, you are a racist. You are a racist, period. And what also fucking annoys me about Katy Perry and Miley Cyrus and motherfucking Pepsi Jenner is that now, while still being racist, they also want to call themselves activists, right? Katy Perry, artist, activist, conscious. Fucking Miley talking about some, oh, I'm an activist now. I'm all about activism and political and using my voice. And Pepsi Jenner, you know, the whole point of that Pepsi commercial was to capitalize off of, you know, activism and social awareness and social justice and this kind of movement moment that we're in right now. And it's just like, damn, bitch, like, even the use of the term activist, which Katy dumbass Perry put in her Twitter bio, is a flex of your white privilege. All of this is just flexing your white privilege, you know? Like, you clearly don't have any real understanding of what the word activist means, of what the word conscious means, of what any of these concepts are. You have never, Katy Perry, apologized for your racist cultural appropriation. Never. You have never sat down with any of these communities that you appropriate from and listened to their complaints. You literally have not changed, because even her most recent track with Migos is some racist, culturally appropriative fucking nonsense. She hides behind being a woman and being a feminist, typical white girl shit, just like Taylor Swift. Like, everyone critiquing you is fucking sexist, and people like Katy Perry, Miley Cyrus, Pepsi Jenner, and these fucking marketing teams know that it is popping to be socially aware right now, so you just pick up these terms and wear them like a coat, just like you do with culture. Oh, I pick it up, I put it down. Oh, quilt bag is popping, let me throw some drag queens in my show. Oh, black culture is popping, you know, let me do the most awkward white girl rendition of a dad. This is literally how Katy Perry dances. She'd be like, that's literally how she dances, right? And she also makes sure to keep a modicum of distance from herself and the stuff that she's appropriating also. She thinks she fucking slick. She makes it very known that she's a white girl playing around in this just for fun, just like that motherfucking goddamn Australian Voldemort. Oh, I put my black scent on for fun, but then I can sit on the couch and be a cute little Australian white girl again on Good Morning America. Haha, I'm still white, guys. Wink, 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 nudge, nudge. Like, that is exactly the same racist shit that Katy Perry does too. Like, oh, activism is popping. Let me go on the cover of Vogue, because they had racist Katy Perry on the cover with some big words that said, like, politics, like pop and politics. Katy Perry says you need to, like, use your voice, you know, like, I'm gonna go on the cover of Vogue and I'm gonna call myself an activist. And I'm gonna say the celebrities need to use their voices. Like, bitch, I haven't heard you use your voice to apologize for your racist fucking shenanigans not once, Katy fucking Perry. I haven't heard you use your voice to challenge your Trump supporter parents at Thanksgiving, Katy fucking Perry, which you came out very publicly and named your own parents as Trump supporters and said you did not check them on that shit. You don't use your voice for shit except to say some racist fucking nonsense. Just zero respect. And now you want to call yourself an activist? Zero respect Typical racist fucking white girl, zero respect for culture, zero respect for other people, zero respect for activists that are actually putting their lives on the line for real. Just like I talked about in my Pepsi Jenner video, like, people die. They get killed by the police. They get watched by the fucking FBI. They get their phones tapped. You know, they get put on government watch lists. Like, these are things that really fucking happen. These are things that happen to MLK Jr. Like, you could look it up. Like, activists kill themselves from the stress, especially black activists. Activists fucking disappear. Like, there have been a string of disappearances. A Ferguson activist and activists that have been found dead in their cars, shot in the head. Like, you guys know I take it very personally when I feel like people are faking the fucking funk for capitalist gain. I made a whole video on tabloid activism where I call out black people for that shit. So please believe none of these white hoes are gonna get a pass for deciding they wanna put activism on like a cloak, just like they wanna put black culture on like a fucking cloak, just like this bitch wants to dress up in yellowface and put East Asian culture on like a fucking cloak. Bitch, you're racist. And then it's offensive for you to now talk about some you an activist, you conscious, you woke. White people love to say that now. I'm woke. I'm woke. I'm woke. Y'all are still racist. You're still racist. Like, you're still racist. You're still racist. And until I see some type of public apology, some type of public, recognition, just like I always say, it's yes, all white people, unless you are actively working to unlearn the system of racism, white supremacy that you have been socialized and conditioned to fucking feel like you are superior to everybody else because you're white. Unless you can admit, I was raised in a racist, sexist, homophobic, capitalist society that instilled in me a sense of superiority as a white person. And yes, I am racist, and I am working to unlearn that, and I am working to dismantle this oppressive, racist, white supremacist, capitalist, homophobic, hegemonic system. You are racist. Until Katy Perry goes on screen, she want to talk all this shit about fucking activism and politics, until she goes on screen and says those exact words that just came out of my mouth and publicly apologizes for being a racist cultural appropriator, she can go fuck herself. She can blow me. She can suck me off. She can miss me with the bullshit. Dead ass. Like, and that's just how I feel about it. So, let me get into some of these tweets before I go. Wow, they put racist Katy Perry on the cover of Vogue. Talk about some, if you have a voice, use it. Has this bitch ever used her voice to apologize for being a cultural appropriator ever? These hoes want to remake themselves as activists but have never ever atoned for being racist trash. When people called Katy Perry out for cultural appropriation, she scoffed and said, what, so I just have to stay in my white girl lane? Now she's a goddamn activist. At least publicly apologize for being stupid in the past. She hasn't even done that. Same with Miley. They demonstrate zero understanding of politics, of race, or of race relations, right? But now they want to fucking get on board the goddamn activism train. Talk about they're the modern faces of activism. I was like, fuck her and fuck Miley too. Oblivious, white, feminist, racists. Hashtag the end. You know? I put Katy Perry can actually sing pretty well and play instruments pretty well, which makes her reliance on cultural appropriation to be edgy and avant-garde even more irritating. You could stay in your white girl lane and keep making pop that actually serves your voice, but nah, you're choosing to be a racist asshole. Does Katy Perry seriously have activist and conscious in her bio? Like, bitch, you're not fooling anybody. You're not fooling anybody. And I feel like this has really been one of the greatest things about like the internet and social media is that, and I actually read a really good article about this recently that was talking about how previously celebrities have been able to just kind of like flip-flop and just like reinvent themselves and just like say whatever and do whatever without getting any type of call out about like, hey, this is racist, or, like, hey, you've never actually apologized for this racist thing you did previously, and now you're talking about how you want to be an activist, and the internet never forgets. Like, we can go look up the racist shit that you did 3 years ago. Like, we can go get the pictures. Like, we can fucking call you out. We can leave comments on your Instagram. We can hit you up on Twitter. We can make our voices known. And I just think that's amazing. And it's just like, these bitches gonna learn. They're gonna learn. They're gonna learn because we're not gonna shut the fuck up and we're not going away and we're not going back in time and all this, all this fucking, and again, and this is nothing new. I don't want it to seem like this is something like new either. Madonna did the same fucking thing. Mark Wahlberg, aka Marky Mark, did the same fucking thing. But now, bitch, we have the internet. We have social media. We have YouTube. We have all these outlets where we can fucking make our voices known about, bitch, you're a racist. So, reader request. Katy Perry's a goddamn racist. Highly requested video. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Please make sure you check the description box as always, because there will be tons of links, including my Twitter threads and lots of other links on this bitch being a racist, because it's like well known. It's like well known. Again, she's on the cover of the Rolling Stone and they're asking her about her racist controversies. You don't get to just now call yourself an activist and conscious, like as if those words don't mean anything, especially when you're like still doing racist performances and you still have not apologized for the racist shit you've done in the past, talked about it, shown any type of fucking intellectual or emotional growth as a person, as an artist. Like, bitch, we're not stupid. We're not stupid. You're not gonna pull the wool over our eyes like you a goddamn activist now just because you say so. Food for thought as always. See you guys next time. Peace.